Tokyo at night looks like neon and rain, until you notice how some streets feel quieter than they should. Not peaceful, controlled. Because in this world, silence isn't empty, it's organized. You don't start with a title. You start as a civilian, an outsider, someone who still believes they can step back whenever they want. Then you see a door that's always half open, like it's waiting for the right person to stop pretending. A glance turns into a conversation. A conversation turns into familiarity. And familiarity turns into proximity. You tell yourself you're only listening, you're only observing, you're not joining anything. But the first lesson comes fast. Attention is never free. You get pulled into a room where people don't introduce themselves. They position themselves. Who sits closest to the center? Who speaks first? Who speaks last? And you realize, even the air has a chain of command. At the bottom, you're not in, you're simply allowed near. This is the associate stage, the shadow stage, where your job is to be useful, quiet, and forgettable. You carry things you don't ask about. You deliver messages you don't repeat. You learn that respect is measured in distance. Stand too close and you're bold. Stand too far and you're irrelevant. So you live in the middle, close enough to matter, far enough to be disposable. Your phone becomes your leash. Late nights, short calls, no explanations. And every time you say yes, the ladder gets a little taller behind you. Eventually, you reach the moment they never describe in detail. A ceremonial gesture, a formal bond. Not a welcome, a wait. After that, you aren't just doing tasks. You belong to the structure. Now you're a junior member, the rank and file tier, where the glamour dies and routine takes over. You don't vote, you don't debate, you don't get to be moody. Your posture becomes your resume. Your silence becomes your survival. Sometimes your entire job is to stand still, look calm, and make a room feel heavier just by being in it. The boring nights aren't a break. They're a test. Because the real question is, are you brave? It's, are you controllable? Rank rises slowly, and when it rises, your life narrows. You start wearing cleaner suits. You sit closer to the center. But instead of freedom, you gain visibility. Now more eyes land on you. Some are curious. Some are counting. This is where member stops meaning included and starts meaning responsible. You can't hide behind being new. You're expected to protect the structure from itself. You learn the next tier, the younger brother tier, where you're no longer just following orders. You're making sure other people follow them. It sounds like power, but power here means you become a signal. Your presence is a message. Someone above you exists. You start doing damage control without calling it that. You stop problems before they become stories. You become calm on the outside and loud on the inside. Because in the middle ranks, the fear isn't death. It's exposure. You can feel the world tightening. The system becomes colder. Doors become harder to open. Favors become slower. Costs become higher. And then you learn there's a whole lane above the street tier. The assistants, the staff, the people who don't look dangerous because they don't need to. They run schedules, they manage tensions, they remember everything. They handle paperwork that can become a weapon on its own. Records don't forget, files don't blink, receipts don't forgive. This is where the organization starts to look less like a family and more like logistics. Because leadership doesn't survive on drama. Leadership survives on predictability. Higher up, you meet the lieutenant tier energy, the seats that exist to keep the machine stable. Here, decisions get fast, consequences get final. Pressure comes from both directions. People below fear you. People above test you. Sleep becomes light like a guard dog. Trust becomes thin like glass. And finally, you meet the second in command, the underboss tier. The room changes, not because anyone shouts, because everyone becomes careful at the same time. At this level, power is the ability to move the room with one quiet sentence. And above even that, there's the top seat. The boss, the oyabun, the person who doesn't need to prove anything, because the space around them proves it for them. At the top, the loudest thing is silence. And the twist is always the same. The higher you go, the lonelier it gets. Because everybody wants something from the top, including the people closest to it. Now step back and look at the whole ladder. Every rank is a different kind of trap. Low ranks fear humiliation. Mid ranks fear exposure. Top ranks fear betrayal. And outside the hierarchy, society shuts doors in quiet ways. Refusal, friction, isolation. The city doesn't scream at you. It simply stops making space for you. The final truth is simple. Every promotion gives you something, and takes something bigger. Associates lose their excuses. Junior members lose their time. Mid-ranks lose their friendships. High ranks lose their sleep. Bosses lose the luxury of being human in public. So if someone asks you what it's like to rank up, the honest answer is, you trade one kind of pressure for another. At the bottom, it's loud and humiliating. In the middle, it's busy and paranoid. At the top, it's quiet and lonely. And the most dangerous myth is thinking rank equals freedom. This video is education and storytelling, not a guide, not advice, not an invitation. Stay curious.